Hi, welcome to Within the Boundary and Beyond and my tribute to the Ranji Trophy, the backbone of Indian cricket. Today I will talk about the final, the Ranji Trophy final of the 1951-52 season, a very significant season for Indian cricket because it was during this season that India recorded its first ever test victory. But here we are talking about the Ranji Trophy and domestic cricket, and with me is the Ranji Trophy Platinum Jubilee commemorative volume of the BCCI, which I compiled back in 2009. Now, can you imagine a scenario where the rival captains are separated by 27 years? One captain is 30 years old and the other captain happens to be 57 years old? Difficult to imagine, but then, as they say, fact is stranger than fiction, and this is precisely what happened in the Ranji Trophy final of 1951-52. Bombay played Holkar, which had been a very successful side. Holkar it could be termed as the predecessor of Madhya Pradesh in the Ranji Trophy, and Bombay was led by the 30-year-old wicketkeeper batsman Madhav Mantri, and Holkar were led by the one and only Colonel Kottari Kanakaiya Naidu, C.K. Naidu, India's first test captain, a legend of the game, and who was continuing to play first-class cricket despite being in his mid-50s. A glance at the Mumbai playing 11 is rather interesting because 10 of the 11 Mumbai players in this game played test cricket for India. I will quickly run you through the names. There is Madhav Mantri himself. Then there is Madhav Apte, Rusi Modi, Dattu Fadkar, great all-rounder, Vijay Manjrekar, great technician, father of Sanjay, Gulab Rai Ramchand, then comes Vinu Mankad, India's greatest all-rounder before Kapil Dev. Vinu Mankad and Gulab Rai Ramchand, in fact, were future India captains. Then you have Ranga Sohni, Subhash Gupte, who many people believe was a better leg spinner than Shane Warne. Now that is saying something. And then the number 11 of Mumbai in this match was a player called Sadashiv Shinde, who happens to be the father-in-law of Shri Sharad Pawar, who went on to become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, had an outstanding political career, and also was the president of the BCCI in later years. So this was the Bombay team that played Holkar. Bombay batted first, scored 596, courtesy centuries by Ramchand and Mankad, both future India captains, and big scores by Mantri, Apte and Rusi Modi. In reply, Holkar scored 410. None of the batsmen could actually reach triple figures. And then in the second innings, Bombay declared at 442 for 5 and then bowled Holkar out for 97, thus winning the game by 531 runs. In the end, it turned out to be a rather one-sided game. And there is a very interesting story of that game when C.K. Naidu came into bat, 57 years old, and most of the Bombay players, and indeed the Holkar players, had idolized him as kids. And Dattu Fadkar, Bombay's new ball bowler, bowled him a bouncer. C.K. Naidu tried to evade it, but the ball struck him on the mouth and a couple of teeth came out with a lot of blood. And obviously, the Bombay players were shaken and Dattu Fadkar himself was slightly shaken. And he cut down on his pace while bowling to Colonel C.K. Naidu. And C.K. Naidu looked at Madhav Mantri, the captain, the Bombay captain, who was also the wicketkeeper, and C.K. Naidu in his characteristic military style roared, "Mantri, tell your bowler to bowl full pace. I do not want any concessions." And Madhav Mantri responded by taking Dattu Fadkar off the attack because it was getting a little too much. Colonel C.K. Naidu was injured, but he still scored 66 despite losing teeth and losing a lot of blood. That's guts for you. And in the end, of course, Bombay won the game by 531 runs. A 30-year-old captain had the better of a 57-year-old captain. So that was the Ranji Trophy final of 1951-52.